Hello everyone, welcome back. It is mid-September 2021. It's been a little while since we made a video. We've been really busy with just a bunch of projects around the house and everything, but I thought I would show you a little bit of our yield from our fruit trees, because one of the great things about this time of year is you get all of your fruit trees starting to produce. So what you're looking at here is our Bartlett pears. Now this is the first time that we've had fruit from this tree. And as you can see, these are gigantic. They're just beautiful, beautiful pears. We don't spray these with much. The only thing that we sprayed on the pears is a couple times during the summer. I sprayed the Bonide fruit and nut spray. It's basically a combination of sulfur and pyrethrin, so it's fairly organic. It might be organic, but it certainly isn't a harsh chemical or anything. And these pears are just beautiful. We picked them on Labor Day. That's one of the things that you'll run into the first time your trees fruit, is you kind of have to learn with your own yard, your own kind of mini ecosystem, when are your pears, apples, whatever, ready to pick. And it might be different from somebody, 20 miles away, because you have to remember there's a microclimate in every yard. And so for us, Labor Day seems to be perfect for these. You pick the pears when they're hard still, and then you let them ripen on the counter, because they'll ripen from the inside out. So if you wait till the pear is soft on the tree, it'll just be mush inside. So you want to pick them when they're really green and hard, but fully developed. And so where we are in southwestern New York State, that's usually late August. So we just did on Labor Day, and it seems to be perfect for us. There, as you can see, they're starting to turn yellow. Nice. We ate a few of these already. And they're really, really good, but they're only going to get better. If you've ever had a Bartlett pear when it's nice and yellow, it's just like buttery texture. These are fantastic. So this tree was planted in 2017, the first summer we were here. So it's 2021, it's its 5th year in the ground, first fruiting. And we've eaten 3 or 4. So just to give you kind of an idea of how many we got off that tree. Really good. And the critters got a couple of them. So over here, we have a basket of our early apples, and these are gorgeous. Now the thing is, when you don't spray a lot, you're going to get a lot of these kind of marks on your apples. This is a Kid's Orange Red, a really, really nice apple. Now it may not look as red as maybe if you saw my video last year, but these apples were starting to fall off the tree a lot, and that's typically a sign that it's ready. And I've eaten a few of them, and they're delicious. So they're just not as colorful, for whatever reason, as they sometimes are. They're still really nice. You can see that where it gets its name, the orange and the red. But there's a lot of kind of marks on there. Now this stuff, this kind of, I guess you'd say like the blotchy look, that will wipe right off. That's just a fungus. Put it underwater, wipe it hard with a towel, it'll come right off. It's just superficial. You can spray fungicides to have that not happen. But I just prefer to keep my spraying to a minimum. I also didn't spray early enough. Now apples are really tough to grow any type of organic way, at least where we are. So these I use the Bonide fruit and tree spray on, and that fruit tree spray, sorry, and that's the one that has the Captan and all that stuff in it. But I sprayed them really late, and the bugs had already sort of gotten in there and done a little bit of damage. But apples like this are totally usable. I made a video on that last year. You see there's a couple little, whether that's like a peck hole or something from a bird, just cut that piece off. The rest of the apple's totally fine to eat. And especially if you're going to cook with them, then you really don't have to worry, but I've never had any issue with that. Here's our Honeycrisp. So this is funny. This is the first time this tree fruited. And look at that gorgeous tree, or the gorgeous apple. Really no spots to speak of. And what's interesting is this got the same spray regimen as the rest of the trees, except for this one's kind of off by itself, over by the pawpaws, tucked into the corner. And my theory is that there's just fewer bugs over there because there's not a concentration of apple trees like there is in the side yard. If you look out in our side yard here, it's just all apple trees. And so the pests like to get in there and do their thing. But these Honeycrisp, this is the first time that this is fruited as well. We picked both of these apples September 10th. That's about when we pick the Kids Orange every year, between the 10th and the 15th. And the Honeycrisp, since it's the first time it fruited, I did a little research. One of the places you can sometimes find good information is a local nursery if they have information on there. So like we're in New York State, Cummins Nursery is a great resource for apple trees. They have all the root stocks, the cool old varieties. But what's also nice is they tell you on there about when in New York State it ripens. And so that gives you sort of at least a window. You know, once your tree has fruited a couple of times, you just know from your own experience. But Honeycrisp here in New York, about September 10th to 15th. We picked them September 10th, and these are absolutely delicious. Beautiful apple too. But again, got the same spray regimen as these, and these are a lot more kind of beat up. But totally usable, delicious. Definitely don't throw those away. If you're weird about it, just cook with them. But I just eat them raw anyways. I just chop them up and eat them. And then this is our last frost peach, picked yesterday. Smells amazing. Now these frost peaches, again, I didn't spray them a ton, so you'll get some of this peach scab. Totally doesn't hurt the fruit. Just if you can just cut that skin right off or peel it, and it's totally fine. Or just eat it as is. But these are fantastic. I'll be putting up a video just on the frost peach. One of the coolest parts of the fall is harvesting from your own fruit trees. So I highly encourage you, if you're somebody who's ever thought about growing fruit trees, you know, it's not difficult. It's one of those things that can be as hard or as easy as you want to make it. So definitely get that tree planted. Now's the time to order, because if you wait till spring, all the trees will be sold out. So right now is when you want to place your order for next spring at places like Cummins Nursery, Trees of Antiquity, Stark Brothers, any of the good places. This came from Stark Brothers, this tree. It's fantastic. Most of our other trees come from either Cummins Nursery or Trees of Antiquity. So highly recommend those two sites especially for their selection of rootstocks and cultivars. So, but order now. Get your stuff in, because if you don't, if you wait, you know, until spring, you'll have a much smaller selection to pick from.